Yo guys, it's JJ here, and of course I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to be taking you guys through a Babyface rate tutorial for his latest album, Mob. Personally, I mess with the album a lot, but I'd easily say the best song on that joint was easily the one where it was him and Durkio, so thought I gotta be inspired, and I made a beat quite similar to it, so I'm going to be showing you how to make a very high-paced, energetic one. And just before we hop into it, we're about to hit New Year's, and I'm aiming for 600 subs, so hey, show some love down below, and let me know guys, if you want to see me make a loop kit or a drum kit for y'all. Of course it'll be free, so let me know in the comments down below, but let's just get into it. First thing you guys need to know is, looking at the BPM, we're doing like a 170-ish kind of BPM, high energy, high pace, and that's what we want for Babyface Ray. We got Omnisphere opened up. We're using a preset called Blip Tripper Pluck, nice little name, and I don't know what bank it's from, but you can find it. And as you can see for the pattern, it's very simple, very basic, but let me just walk you through it. Every bar we pretty much have like this kind of repeating pattern where it will be a note playing after the root note, as you can see, so going from E to B, bouncing back and forth, and then the next bar I'll just shift this note upwards even higher and then taking it back down. And to give it a nice kind of dark bounce, we use these notes I've highlighted, which are one note apart, and that makes them in tension, giving that nice little bit of energy. Last thing I did, click Alt. Last thing I did was click Control A, highlights everything, and click Alt R. And what that does is you'll allow you to randomize your velocity using this velocity knob, and it makes it sound more human because, you know, we don't want to sound like we're robots here. So with that being said, this is what the melody sounds like. And there you have it. Very simple, but very, very catchy. As for effects, very simple. We got a nice EQ here. Basic EQing, as you can see. And on top of that, a nice little bit of reverb. Next thing I did was I stereo separated this around 40%. Just so it'll be a bit wider in the mix, and then when everything's together, it doesn't sound too muddy and clustered. Next up, we got ourselves an instance of Expand 2, and I'm using the preset called Evil Frog, and it's from the Soft Pads bank. As you guys can see, the pattern I made, relatively simple, but I'll walk you through it. Again, we're making good use of the root notes because gotta stay nice and consistent. And on top of that, we're still using notes in tension, as you can see from here and here. These notes are key. Notes in tension, sound super hard together, gives it a nice little dark aggressive feel. And then for a bit of variation, of course, we added this nice little A note, and it's just a loop that repeats every 4 bar. Very simple, straightforward, but hey, it sounds good, it sounds good. So without further ado, this is now what the melody sounds like together. And there you have it. Nice, gives it a bit more of an atmospheric feel, and it sounds even darker, to be honest. Next up, we got ourselves, as for effects, got ourselves a nice little bit of EQ going on here. Few of the highs, few of the lows gone, and then just, you know, boosting the mids. On top of that, we got ourselves a preset from Expand 2. On top of that, we got ourselves a preset from Portal, and it's called a Pitch Artifact preset. And then last but not least, I got myself, again, more Valhalla Vintage Verb, or just your regular reverb. And these are the presets I allocated. Oh yeah, and then I stereo separated this 100%, just to really widen it in the mix. I didn't want it to be like a focal point. It's more of a nice little bit of a texture grind through the melodies. Next up, we got ourselves another instance of Omnisphere. And of course, we got ourselves a preset known as the Growler Moog bass. My go-to synth bass, super dope, goes really good for trap beats, and it's hard. So if you ever need a synth bass, use this one. As for the pattern, you can see, very simple. The only thing I actually did was highlight all of it when it was like this, and then just drag it back a bit. And then this little gap, it gives it a nice little bit of a bounce. It's a bit of variation. You know, variation is key as well as simplicity, but it's finding that sweet spot because you want to keep it simple, but just these little bits here and there does a lot for the listener and the artist you're trying to get this beat to. So without further ado, this is what the melody sounds like now. And there you have it. Very simple and straightforward. And now, last but not least, we got ourselves a final component of the melody. However, this is a complete switch up, because in the beat where Durkio and Babyface have like the little collab, they have like a nice little section where the beat kind of switches melody wise. So I thought, let me do the same. So first of all, I got myself Piano V2, use the basic preset that comes in, America in it. And then all I did was come up with this very, very nice pattern, super bouncy, super catchy. So all I actually did was, first of all, just lay down these root notes. Then I came up with this pattern that, as you can see, just repeats at the start of every 4 bar. But then, at the end, I have these nice little switches going on, just for a bit of variation, giving it a nice little bounce for when the switch kicks in. So, thought it sounded dope. And then all I had to do was highlight it all, clicking Control and left click. Once I got it all highlighted, I click Control C, took it up, and then click Control V. And there you have it. So, without further ado, this is what the switch up within the melody sounds like. And there you have it. Super basic, but really nice switch up. It just gives a bit of variation to the listener, and it does that really nice high energy feel. Now, of course, moving on to the drums, we're going to start off with the very basic clap pattern. We all know it, we all love it. Lex Luger slap clap, basic every half of a beat playing. We all know the deal. So this is what the clap sounds like. And there we have it. Next up, we hit the hi-hat pattern. Very simple again, two-step pattern. You can use any hi-hat you want. I just use this one called Bad Guy Hit. And then without further ado, this is what the hi-hat and the clap sound like together. I don't think you guys want to hit the other half because it sounds the same really. And now we've got the kick and the 808 pattern. And just for a real quick notice, the 808 pattern and the kick pattern is literally the same. So I'm just going to go through both of them at the same time. First of all, 808 choice. It's not the spins. We're using the Z808 for a little change because I like it in these high energy beats, especially proper trap beats we're talking here. Like, you know, Babyface, Durkio, Baby, Rob 49. Like these kind of rappers, I think these kind of 808 sound good with them. So using that 808 here, nice simple pattern, repeats literally every 2 bar. And the most important thing I have to tell you guys, 3 words, I repeat it every video, it's max your velocities. Simple. It makes your kick, it makes your 808 hit harder, super punchy in the mix, and super crisp. But you may be thinking, where's JJ? How do I do this? I'll walk you through it. All you have to do is click Control A, highlights all your notes. Then you see that scroller wheel, just mess with it and then scroll it all the way up. Because what that does is it'll raise the velocity to the max it can get and makes everything just that nice extra bit punchier. So without further ado, this is what the 808, kick, clap, and hi-hat sound like together. And there you have it. Simple, very basic, you may even say, but hey, that's what is needed. And last but not least, I got myself like a nice little like snare roll going, so whenever the melodies like switch over, it had like a nice little transition. Just a little snare roll going here, nothing too crazy. Again, don't overthink this stuff. And so, without further ado, here is the final drum pattern. And there we have it, folks. You've officially made it to the end of the video. I'm very thankful for you guys watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. And now you can make yourself a nice mob type beat for Babyface Ray. So please like, comment, subscribe all down below. Let me know if you want a loop kit, a drum kit, and make sure to sub because we're trying to hit 600 gang. So thanks again and take it easy. Peace.